Hello, it's good to see you. Today we're going to be wrapping some Christmas presents. We have some that are smaller and then we have some that are really big. So we are going to be working on that. We have things like this. This is a Dr. Teal's 6-piece gift set. Soothing you and for sleep with lavender. It includes Epsom salt soak, foaming bath, body wash, bath bombs, and a pillow spray to help you sleep. Look at the cute little soaps. Those are adorable. Or no, these are actually bath bombs. So we're going to be wrapping stuff like this. We have a wide variety of things to wrap. We even have a ukulele. You can play. Little play on words. You can play. You can play. The ukulele. Learn to play instantly with chords and lyrics to over 50 songs. So we have things like this. Now, some of these items are going to be placed inside gift boxes and then wrapped. And some, like the ukulele, we can just wrap like they are. We don't need to put them in anything. And I have made sure to get plenty of tape. I have 2 rolls of Scotch transparent tape here. I think that should be more than enough for today. And a wide variety of bows. Look at this pretty gold holographic one. And this one is white with silver stripes. Silver on the edges. And then this one is white with gold stripes. It's very nice. I have a wide variety of bows. That's just a few I had out on the table. Lots of wrapping paper. I just wanted to show you some. Look at this pretty roll. This has cardinals on it, and it's mainly blue with little sprigs of holly as well. It's very pretty. These rolls are some that I bought last year after Christmas. This one is beautiful. This is from Holiday Time. It's a specialty gift wrap. Now this is a heavyweight paper, which I really like. And it has a grid on the back so you can see where to cut. It's metallic and it has like a wood grain pattern to it. It's just really cool. Evie thinks it's cool too. And this one, I found this one at Aldi last year. This is an extra long roll. These are great for those really big presents, which we have several big presents to wrap today. Has a box on it and a polar bear and a sloth, little hedgehog, and a reindeer with a sweater. It's really pretty. This is from Merry Moments. This is also a heavyweight gift wrap. So we have these and a bunch more. I have a whole tote full of wrapping paper, so we can use a wide variety of types. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with this throw, but first I wanted to show you this. This is a gift bag, and we're not doing gift bags. I just wanted to show it to you. It has a Volkswagen bus on it, look. It says Santa Stop Here. It's on the back too. But we're not using gift bags today. I just wanted you to see it. All right. Now there is nothing wrong with just wrapping this the way it is. I mean, I could just wrap it this way, but I think we'll put it in a box. So I have this big box here, and you could even just leave it like this. You don't even have to wrap it, but we're gonna wrap it anyway. So you open it out. Now you have these little flaps here. We're going to take some tape and we're going to tape them down. Try to hold them out. So there's the bottom. And we'll do the top. really want to press that tape down. And we have a wide variety of tissue papers here. And we can just take some of this and we're just going to put it in the bottom, and then we're going to put the throw on top of the tissue paper. There's a shiny one there. Oh, it's red on one side and silver on the other side. That on the top. See, we could just present it this way, but I kind of want to wrap it. Just do some wrapping paper on there. Now I want to try to use up some of my old wrapping paper from last year, and what I did was I just took a strip of wrapping paper that was left over and just taped it. And I didn't put any tape on the paper, so you can actually just slide this off. And that way your wrapping paper is all fine and ready to go. You can also use empty toilet paper rolls. You just cut them and just clamp it over like that. It's a great way to keep your wrapping paper from coming off the roll and tearing and getting messed up. Okay. First thing I need to do is turn this over. I want the underside on the top. We're going to wrap it this way so that the seam is on the bottom and it's not going to show on the top, so it looks a little nicer. This way. Now, we're going to have quite a bit of overhang here. and on this side. So what I'm going to do, I don't want quite so much paper over here. So I'm going to do, this paper has grid marks on it, which is wonderful. I'm going to slide it up to where I have enough to cover this side, but not a bunch of leftover. So I'm just kind of eyeball it. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then I'm going to cut this side. Now that's going to leave you with a really long strip of paper. I don't think I have any presents small enough to use this. So I think I'm just going to save it. Maybe I'll use this to make some more little loops like this to save my paper for later. Right now we're just going to set it aside. Now we're ready to tape. Now I do not like to put tape on the box itself. I only put tape on the wrapping paper. That way you don't end up with the little tags of paper taped to the box when it's opened. To me it just looks a lot neater. You want to make sure you have it lined up. And usually from the pattern on the paper you can tell if it's lined up or not. I put a piece here. I'm going to do one in the middle. And one on down this way. Okay. Now we have these sides here. Okay. I'm going to try to turn it where you can see what I'm doing. Okay. See this? I'm not really pressing on it. I'm just kind of mushing it down. Now you end up with this over here and this over here. Push it all the way down to the corner of that box. And then you're going to pinch right there. You're just making a little crease. And then you do this side the same way. Just like that. Now you have these creased bits. You're just going to grab them and pull them in. And right here, you're going to press that. Make another crease right there. Take this side, pull it in, and just press that right there. Make a crease there. Now you want to, sometimes the paper will pucker up right here, and that happens when you start to pull this up and tape it. So I always kind of mush it down. I just kind of press it down like that. And you're going to have to do it again when you get ready to tape it. There are different ways you can do this. You can actually put a little piece of tape here if you want to make that little crease there look extra flush. Keep it from sticking out. You don't have to though. Alright, now we're going to bring this little fold up. Again, you're kind of pressing here, just smoothing this down, and you just hold it. Bring it up. Oops, hold on. Put a piece of tape right there. Now these kind of stick out, and again, you don't have to put tape there if you don't want to. This box is actually going to be traveling. It's not going to be opened here. So when I have a box that I know I'm going to be taking with me elsewhere, it's going in and out of the car. I just want to make it sure, as sure as I can, that it's not going to catch on something and pull open and get torn. Okay. And remember too, this is still the underside. Turn it this way. We're going to do the same thing over here. Press it down. go over to that corner, make a crease, and it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Fold it down, go to the corner, make a crease. Fold it in. It's nothing special. There are really elaborate ways to wrap presents. I basically do them all the same. I learned one technique, and that's the one I've used my whole life. My mother taught me how to wrap presents when I was about 8. And from then on, I wrapped all the presents except my own, and I'm surprised she didn't have me wrapping my own presents. After that, I wrapped everybody's presents every Christmas. So, I've had a lot of practice. Okay. And again, I've taped it there, and I'm going to do these little parts too. There we go. Now we're going to turn it over. There we have it, our first present of Christmas this year. Let's do, what if we do a happy green bow? Now, one thing you might want to keep in mind, if you have presents that are going to be traveling, I don't put the bow right in the middle because it makes it hard to stack presents. Like if I'm carrying a stack of presents out to the car or putting them in a bag or whatever, if you have bows right in the middle and you stack something on top of it, it's going to squish your bow. So what I do, I typically put it off to the side, just in a corner, whichever corner you want. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to take the paper off here. Okay. Now, when you're going to press a bow on the package, you could squish the bow. So what I do is I stick my finger down in the bow. There's usually a loop right in the middle. Stick your finger down in there so that now when I press that adhesive against the paper, it's not going to squish my bow. You can also press it from the underside. Make sure that bow is on there and it's not going to fall off. Now we need a to from label. Let's see. We'll just use this one. These are some I bought last year. Okay. Okay. There's the first present of Christmas. This is awesome. I'm so excited. Okay, there's the first one. How about something smaller? We have these radishes right here. Can't say what it is because I might get in trouble. These are radishes. We're going to wrap these radishes. Oh, I like this paper. This is some more paper from last year. And it has a piece of its own paper holding it together. See, it's just a little loop of paper. All right. This is easy. It's already in a box. You're going to just eyeball that paper. I'm thinking, if you look at this, there's enough paper on the sides to go over it very easily. We could even do it that way. This way uses a little less paper. So you want to make sure you have enough paper over here to go up the side and enough over here to go up the side. Same as the other one. Just roll that out a little bit. It doesn't want to stay. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this so I have enough paper to cover it. I'll move that roll. All right, now we're going to turn this over to the back. Fold it this way. And we're going to have some more paper to cut in a minute. This way. You see there's a lot of overlap. That's okay. You can always cut it. One thing you can do to even up your paper if it's a little lopsided, grab it, slide it like the tracks on a tank. Check it out. And that helps you straighten it. Make sure it's nice and tight, but don't pull so hard that you tear the paper. I have done that. Since this one is small, I'm only going to do one piece right there. I'm not going to put any on the sides. Now again, just like the big box, just press it down and make a crease. Evie's mountain climbing on my presents. Trying to keep her from knocking them over. Okay, you take this crease here, fold it in, and you press it along the table right there. I could do this in my sleep. Honestly, after you do this for a while, you can get to where you can do this really fast. You can wrap them very fast this way. I've heard people say they use gift bags for everything because wrapping presents is so hard. It's really not. You can use this technique to wrap pretty much anything. And if it's an odd size, you can just put it in a box. And you don't have to go buy boxes. Actually, one of my presents that we're going to wrap is in a box that a pair of boots came in that I bought for myself. They came in a nice box. I thought, you know what? This box is the perfect size for one of my presents. So we're going to use it to wrap a present. So then the kid's going to open it and be a little confused at first. That's part of the fun. They're going to open it and say, what in the world did you buy me? Okay. Fold it down. You apply your tape. And again, I think I'm going to put it here too. And also, there we go. When I'm thinking about putting presents under the tree, that's another time I don't want the bow right in the middle because sometimes I have to stack them under the tree. Hopefully. So even when they're just going under the tree, I still like to put the bow in the corner. Stick my finger down in there. This is an old, cheap bow, but it doesn't matter. They're not going to care. And a label. There we go. I'm going to fill these out later. Right now I'm just going to put Post-it notes on them. Okay. Look at that. Perfect. Now when they shake it, they're going to know it's radishes, but they don't know what kind of radishes. So they're going to have to wonder. Now here we have a cucumber. We're going to wrap this cucumber. Definitely adult content. Cucumbers in disguise. See, it says so right up there. It's a little messed up. Now, we could put this in a gift box. I think, honestly, though, I'm just going to wrap it like it is. Just going to leave it just like that. Here we have another roll from last year with the little Christmas lights on it. This is a big roll. Okay, let's see what we need to do here. I love wrapping paper with the graph, the score. You know, it's the graph on it. It makes it so much easier to cut it straight. Sometimes you can kind of look at the pattern and cut it along the pattern. Sometimes I manage to screw it up anyway. Let's see. I think we could probably do it that way. Let's do it that way. Now you have to remember, for an odd size thing, you have to make sure you have enough paper to cover it. Now we want this on the underside so it doesn't have the seam. Turn it to the back. These are tricky. I'll just tell you, they're a little tricky. Let's do it this way. Now he really wanted this cucumber, so I found it on eBay. I've had it for a while. I'm surprised it's still fresh. Now see here, I'm using the pattern to cut it. I'm just going on that red bulb. More leftover paper. I think I'm going to have plenty of leftover paper. You can even take all your scraps and cobble them together and wrap a present with the scraps. I've done that. One piece there. Let's do another one up here. Maybe one there. And here's where you have to kind of look at it. How do we want to do it? The paper's a little long on that side, but that's because it comes up. You just kind of get creative with it. You're going to use the same basic technique. You just modify it a little. Now this is the front, but I'm going to fold it down here. This is the top of the cucumber up here. I think he's going to know what this is. Probably. I don't know, he asked for it quite a while ago. Like around Halloween, so maybe he's forgotten about it. Okay, now this is the underside here. We're just going to do it the same. Evie is resting comfortably on my stack of tissue paper. Okay, there we have it. So these unusual shaped presents like this can be a challenge. I'm going to cover this with a bow. I'm just going to stick a bow up there. Here's a pretty blue one. I'll just put this up there. Sticking my thumb in the bow. There we go. and a label. I think I'm going to put the label down there. There. That's going to show just fine. I'll fill all these out later. Oh, and don't worry, they don't watch my videos. They have no idea I'm doing this. Oh, here we have some lettuce. We're going to wrap some lettuce now. That's a fine head of lettuce right there. That's the next one. Let's get another roll of paper. Here's some more pretty neon paper. Okay, so you're going to roll it out. And again, you want to eyeball it, make sure you have enough on both sides to cover it. And turn it over. And if you cut your paper and then find that you cut it too short, sometimes you can turn the package and make it fit better. I've had to do that, like I guessed incorrectly, and there's a little tear in the paper right there, so I had guessed incorrectly. Sometimes you can still use it. Just try turning the present a different way. Again, remember we turned it upside down. Grab it, slide it, straighten it up. Make sure that paper is on there nice and tight, but don't pull so hard that you tear the paper. I think one piece is enough. Now we're going to push these down. I just take my 2 fingers, press it, take my 2 fingers, and just do like that to make the crease. And right on the table. It helps too to have a good big area to work on, like this table here. Makes it a lot easier than trying to work in a small area. I have wrapped presents on the floor before. I remember I was 7 months pregnant with my older son, and it was Christmas time, and I got down on the floor. And I got down on the floor okay, and I got down there and wrapped some presents, but then I couldn't get back up. Like when you're that big, your center of gravity changes, and I had to crawl over to the steps and sort of get up that way. Like, you know, put my hands up on the steps and kind of hoist myself up. It was pretty funny. There wasn't anybody else there. It was just me. So I didn't have anybody to help me up. It was funny even at the time. I was laughing at myself. I've never needed help getting up off the floor. Not sober anyway. Okay. So again, I'm just taking the tape and taping it, but I'm not putting it on the actual present, just the paper. There we go. another one done. Here I have a pretty silver bow that we can put on there. And again, I'm just putting it up in the corner. I'm not pressing on the bow itself. I'm just pressing to get the adhesive to stick, but I'm not mashing the ribbon at all. Okay. Another label. You can, of course, color coordinate your labels in your packages. I just basically grab whatever label looks good. All right. Leave that. What do we have next? We have this nice Epsom salt stuff. My mom loves this stuff, so we're gonna fix this up. What paper would she like? I think she would like this paper, so let's see what we can do here. Lovely airplanes fly over. We're not far from a place that does flight training, so if you're trying to get your pilot's license, they fly over the house a lot. Glenda the Good Witch, my current ex, has his pilot's license, and he flies around, and yeah. But you frequently hear people flying little Cessnas or whatever over the house. As long as they don't crash and hit my house, I'm cool with it. Okay. Now again, I'm going to put this right in the middle. This is nice thick paper. Make sure it's nice and tight. You're going to hold that while you grab the tape. Just keep a hand on it. Put one piece there. One here. And one about there. Okay. Going to make a crease here. There. Hold it in there. And there. Now this one's going to travel, so again, I want to make sure we don't have any little corners sticking out that can grab on stuff and tear. And yeah, the more you do this, the easier it gets. I mean, I've been doing this forever. So, and honestly, it doesn't have to look perfect. I don't remember which way was up, but there you have it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect, especially kids' presents. I promise you, they don't care. You could spend hours painstakingly wrapping a present, and they're just going to rip it open. They don't care. Now, if you end up with a bow that just doesn't want to stick. And when I was a kid, we used to reuse bows. Just take a piece of tape like this, or if you have double stick tape, that's cool. Take a piece of tape, make a little loop like that. You're going to fold it on itself, stick it to the bow. That's going to give it enough stickiness to stay on your present. Yeah, when I was a kid, we would save the Sunday comics and reuse bows every year. We would wrap our presents in funny papers. We didn't buy wrapping paper very often. We just reused the Sunday funnies. Okay, and we have the ukulele. It includes the ukulele, a 64-page book, and a 72-minute play-along CD. I don't know if he'll use this. He asked for it. I don't know if he'll ever use it, but let's see. I think a short roll will work for this just fine. Well, that thing is on there tight. Sometimes you have to tear them off. I made it too tight. There we go. Alright. I'm going to roll this out. Little gingerbread man. I remember this paper from last year. It's really thin, so you have to be careful. It is exceedingly thin paper. Let's see. Now you need it to be cut long enough to fit over the largest part. We can cut a little bit off the end here, or off the side. Okay, we have enough paper here to cover this side. I'm going to cut a little bit off up here. When you're looking at oddly shaped things like this is the point you want to go by when you're cutting your paper. You want to make sure you have enough to cover the widest part coming this way, or if you're, if the paper is oriented the other way, same thing. So we need to make sure that it's wide enough to cover this part. Let's see. Oh yeah. We're going to just turn it. Now it's going to be sideways, but I don't care. He's not going to care either. These can be tricky, but you can do it. Just take your time. And don't worry about it. Nobody's going to be judging your wrapping paper skills. And you know what? If they judge your wrapping paper skills, take their present back. Tell them they don't deserve it. coming around, wrapping that paper. Better put one there too. Now this is the front, but still, we have this little bit coming over here, but it's not a huge deal. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Now since the paper is a little catty cornered, you do have this little bit sticking out here, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. You can even cut that. Like we could just cut that off if we wanted to. You don't have to. Now if you find that your paper is too long, you can always cut it some more, but you don't have to. It all just comes together in the end. You don't even need to worry about it. They just want to know what's in it. There. And this is the front. I think it turned out pretty nice. I'll do a jolly red bow on there. Shiny red bow. Look how shiny it is. Ooh. Let's give this one a big label. Great big label. There. There we go. One more done. Now what? Oh, it's time for the it's time for this one. Look at this monstrosity, my goodness. I think for that one we're gonna need a long roll of paper. Let me go grab one. Okay, I have our little creature paper. Now let's see. It's the perfect length too. Look at that. Well, you can't see it because it's too long, but it's going to overlap just enough to cover this whole thing. So I'm going to turn it upside down. It's kind of awkward, but we can do it. Okay. Right in the middle. Let's see where I need to cut it. Up there, I think. This I think would be easier if I just lay it out and cut it here. Oh, I love paper with grid lines. Fortunately, most of them have the grid lines now. It's so much easier to cut it that way. Put this in the middle. Okay. Make sure the paper is nice and snug. It's not buckled up anywhere. Hold on to it. Get your tape. Put some down here too. Goodness, he's never going to guess what this is. I found this at Aldi. And again, let me show you what I got going on over here now. It's a little bit longer than I need. Now you can go ahead and cut off the extra. But if you're like me and you don't want to mess with it, you don't have to. You go ahead and tuck it down like you normally do. Make your creases. Now this takes a little practice and sometimes it ends up messy, but you're just going to fold it under. And then up. And it still looks fine. There. See, I didn't cut it. But it looks fine. I'm going to have to do the same thing over here. See how you have this extra paper right here? Don't even worry about it. Hold a crease. Another crease. Hold it there. There. And then fold this bottom flap up and over and tape it. That's it. He is never going to guess what this is. Oh, it's going to drive him crazy. Okay, since the paper is kind of oriented this way, we'll put a bow up here. I have another gold one. Okay. And another label. Big label for a big present. There. Ooh, it's heavy. I don't know where to put it. Let's put it there. All right. Now here's one. This is a colander. You string your stuff in it. Definitely not for kids, because we don't show stuff like that on here, do we? We don't. Now this is another longer present. See, this paper's not quite long enough. I mean, you can use this paper. You could turn it this way and do it this way. But if you have a longer roll, it would be a little easier. We can go ahead and use this paper though. I'll show you. All right. Let's turn it this way. Turn it upside down. And that's going to be really long. I'm going to cut it about here, I think. Let's cut it long ways first. It's okay because I have another colander basically the size that we're going to wrap in a minute, and we can actually use, we might be able to get 2 out of this piece. We'll see. We'll see how that works. what you want to do, you want to look over here and make sure you have enough paper on that side and over here. Maybe here. Now I have this big piece of paper here. I'm going to save this. And we'll come back to that. But first, we have to finish with this one. Just bring this up. This is trying to pucker. So just hold that down. Make sure it's nice and tight. There. Kind of have to do the same thing on this part. Make sure it's all nice and flat. And tape it. There. There's one side. Same thing on the other side. If you find that you cut it too short and it's going to show, and I've done that many times, you just take another strip of paper and just cut it and just lay it in there, and then you can just tape this right over it and that will hide it. You can even use, like if you had some leftover paper from another present, you might be able to use that paper for that. I've had to do that more than once. And just press on there, make sure it's nice and straight. Yeah. There we have it. And we have enough paper left to do the other one. So we're going to grab a bow. How about we use one of these? Just a white one. put it up in the corner. Okay, there's one. And the second one, this is a blender. It's going to be a good blender. We have our giant piece of paper. Let's turn it over. Put a piece of tape in the middle, and we could do a couple more. That's already cut, so we don't have to do that. And if you have a little pucker place, you can always just put a little piece of tape there. Paper's a little long on that side. You could just kind of crease it a little bit. Because once you have it at this stage, it's kind of awkward and hard to cut the paper. I mean, you can, but I don't want to. Ooh, this is a fancy bow. Look at that one. It's a little squished. And we're going to do one more, and then I think that's going to be it for today. Okay. One more. And here's the box my boots came in. And it's a little full, but I think it'll work. These are not bricks. These are can openers. You put all the can openers together, it makes a fish market. Literally, it's a fish market. It's over 2,000 pieces for this fish market. 2,000 can openers, and it's very heavy. Maybe we should try to tape it down a little bit. You know what? I have some better tape. Let me secure this a little bit before we wrap it. Okay, I put some tape here, here, and here, and that's going to hold it together so the can openers won't fall out. Now I need a heavy-duty paper for that. What's some heavy-duty paper? Let's see if we have enough on here to do it. Maybe turn it this way. Okay. I'm going to turn it upside down. He's going to wonder why he's getting boots. I lost my scissors. Where did I put them? That is some thick paper. Right. And we're going to have to cut it one more time. We need to move it up to make sure we have enough paper there and enough paper here. So about there. is heavy. Ooh, that's a nice one. And we need a bow. Let's use the blue one. Okay. And a label. So that is our last present for today. I think they turned out really good. We got quite a few wrapped here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we wrapped 10 things. That's pretty great. Thank you so much for helping me wrap all these items. They look wonderful. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you have a great day. I'll see you again soon.